Nissan Skyline R32 GTST Type M. I know it's not a GTR. I wish it was a GTR, but I don't have the money for a GTR. Today officially marks 1 year of owning this car, and I kind of wanted to do a little car review and talk about some of the pros, cons of owning a right-hand drive car in America, and basically the pros and cons of this car in general. So all of 2021, I really wanted to get a right-hand drive car, and my plan was to get a Mark IV Supra. I don't know if anybody's looked at the prices for them, but they are insanely high, so I definitely could not afford one of those, and I saw this car on righthanddrivespecialties.com, checked it out, looked at it, and I was like, you know what, let's get it. It's JDM, it's cool, I love Skylines. If I had the choice between a Skyline and a Supra, 100% would choose the Supra every single day, but this is a good alternative to that, and I still absolutely love it. Do I have any regrets with purchasing it? In a way, yes and no. I'd say yes, because I did settle. I didn't really take the time to do more research and find a proper one. I kind of just bought one because the prices were climbing, and pretty much now, if I were to sell this car, they're selling between $20,000 to $30-something thousand, and I had to get it before it went into that market, because then I couldn't afford it at all, which is just absolutely crazy to me. Upon receiving this car, I did know some small damage issues that I didn't know about when I first bought it, and it's mainly like little dents, rust, bad, terrible, outrageous overspray and paint. It's really bad, but this car was painted in Japan, and that's kind of what you expect in Japan. Same thing for the rust. It's surrounded by oceans, so you're bound to have some rust on it. It's really not that bad. I looked underneath, and the car looks pretty good for the most part. There's small stuff here and there, but I'm not too worried about it. Thankfully, because some of that damage, it allows me the chance to do a wide body on this car and make it stand out a little bit wider than what it currently is. The GTR is, I think, plus 30 mil wider than the GTST, or more. I really don't know off the top of my head, but it's a lot wider than this car, and I love the way it looks. Originally, I wanted to do a GTR style body kit, but then I also wanted to do a modern take on a Fast and Furious car, so that led me to doing a Pandem kit, which I could honestly regret, but I want to do something extra and stupid and kind of cool, and that's why I'm going to do the Pandem kit. When I first got this car, it was incredibly quiet. Now that I have a Tomei titanium exhaust, it's really, really loud. And obviously, it sounds fantastic. There are a few other things that I have done to this car, like, for example, steering wheel, which, yes, it comes off, which is really cool, but we have an aftermarket steering wheel. We do have wheels at the house that are not currently on it because they rub, fitment issues. I have new brakes and rotors. They work great, as you can tell, Jesus Christ. I also have a full turbo system for this car to make it so much faster, because right now it is incredibly slow. It makes no sense that a car can be this slow, but it is. I mean, I'm cool with it because the car just sounds great and it's fun to drive and you get looks everywhere you go, but it's really, 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 really slow. I drove a 2004 STI, that's my other vehicle, and it's pushing 350 horsepower on a good day. It has boost issues, it has fuel issues. There's a couple things wrong with the STI, but that car, it hooks, it's all-wheel drive, it's fast, and it's fun. This car is, honestly, it's just fun. It's a looks car, and I want it to be faster, mainly because I have the experience of driving my 2004 STI. Now, will I get there? Eventually, yes. I'm just not worried about it right now, because, again, I'm just enjoying it as it is before I really dive into this vehicle. When it comes to driving a right-hand drive car in America, some people love it, some people hate it. I'm one of the ones that absolutely loves it because it's cool. It's a cool experience. Drive-throughs suck. I've actually gone to a Taco Bell in reverse, and that's pretty much it. Chick-fil-A is your best friend because they come to your side of the window. I've gone to Jack in the Box, which they don't have the best food, but I've gone there. They were rude, so I made them reach into my window. It was actually kind of funny. Some people do think that driving right-hand drive is difficult or it's different, and it's the exact same as driving a manual vehicle that's left-hand drive. You have first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and reverse. Your blinker is on the right side though, so that's over here, which I'm not turning, but right side versus in your standard left-hand drive car, it's on the left side. Everything else though is pretty much the exact same. You're gonna have your gas, your brake, and your clutch. When I talk about this car being slow, just let me show you. We're pulling on the highway. We're going 45, 50 kilometers. Don't know if that is in miles per hour, but let's just go. That's 60 miles an hour. It took that long from 45, 50 kilometers to 100 kilometers, which that's roughly 60 miles an hour. You may have noticed in that last clip that my car is actually breaking up, and that's because I need to change the spark plugs. I have them, I just haven't had time to install them, and usually I don't push the car that hard anyway, so it's okay. It's not really okay, but it's okay. Also, with this car being an RB, a lot of people think it's incredibly unreliable. Whistlindiesel thinks that RBs are incredibly unreliable, and to an extent, that is fairly true. For mine, it's an RB20, it's not an RB26, and personally, I haven't had any real issues with the car. It started every single day, it's sounded great every single day, it does its job, but you have people like Whistlindiesel that own them for a couple of hours and they put a hole in their block, or they basically destroy their cam, or just break their transmission. I don't know what he has done to destroy 2 GTRs, but he destroyed them. So maybe it's the RB26 that's unreliable, even though I can't say that because all RBs have their fault. My RB in particular, it's mainly just plugs. There's an oil leak around the valve covers, and there's a couple of small things here and there that I have to fix, but other than that, it's not a bad RB. It's just slow. One of the other things that I've had to upgrade on this car to make it a little bit more reliable and modern is upgrade the alternator. Mainly because the other one broke, and by broke I mean it wasn't charging the battery anymore and just kept dying. So upgraded to the LS alternator, and it's been beautiful ever since. So for my total 1 year of owning this car, the only things that I've had to really do is alternator, plugs, make it louder because that's just personal preference. My rear suspension is slowly going out, and I've got coilovers for that. But that's just all maintenance stuff. Overall, for owning this car for 1 year, I really haven't had to do much to it to make it reliable, to make it drive every single day, to start every single day, to be great every single day. It just, I wake up, I go, start it, and it's happy. Could it be better? Yes, obviously. And that's what I'm working towards. Eventually, I will have this car exactly the way I want it, but I'm not quite there yet. I am planning on starting the wide body, hopefully sometime soon this year, and then also doing the whole turbo system, doing ECU, doing ARP head studs, basically making this car to where it can run at 400 horsepower and be safe. That is pushing it on this little RB20, but that is the plan for this year, and hopefully it works. Going to be it for the review on the Skyline. So if you have any questions that I didn't answer, feel free and ask them down in the comments below. And if you like the car, you like the channel, leave a thumbs up and subscribe so you can stay tuned for the future build on this. I'm really excited for it. I really love this car. I do kind of regret buying this particular one just because I did rush into it, but overall I'm really happy with it, and I don't ever plan to get rid of it. I want it to stay in the family forever if I can. Unless I run into, money issue, then obviously I'll have to let it go. But overall, I am happy with it, and I'm excited to see how the car changes over this year. Now, like I said, that's going to be it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the content, and I will see you on the next one. See ya. Later.